Kambari was a peaceful town. People lived there without much trouble. They bought and sold, greeted each other warmly, and minded their business. Life was simple. One hot afternoon, a stranger entered the town. She walked straight through the market, and everybody stopped to look. She was beautiful, young, and her skin was fresh. But what made everybody's eyes widen was her big buttocks. Round, full, and it was moving like it had its own life. In Kambari, the women there were known for their flat buttocks. So the stranger called Fatima stood out like a palm tree in a yam farm. She rented a house close to the market and within days opened a food shop. She sold jollof rice, beans, pepper soup, fried fish and plantain. From the first day, her stall was full. Men crowded around her to buy food from her, some even eating twice a day. She served them with a soft voice and a smile that made them feel like kings. On one hot afternoon, some women gathered to talk. Auntie Binta shook her head. "That woman, Fatima, have you seen the way men are running after her food?" Aisha the widow replied, "It is not only her food that they are after. Look at the way they are sitting and laughing like small boys when she talks to them." Another woman added, "And our husbands now come home late. They said they are buying food, but I know what they are buying." They all laughed. 3 weeks after Fatima came, Musa the blacksmith was seen going into her house at night. 2 days later, people found him dead near the river bank. In the market, people whispered, "Maybe he drowned, or maybe he offended the sea goddess," and they all mourned him. A week later, Baba Ibrahim, the palm wine tapper, was seen leaving her house at night. 2 days later, he was gone too. He fell from a palm tree while he was tapping, and people said it was just bad luck, and some said it was an accident. Then came the third death. Then whispers began to grow. "Have you noticed it is always the men who visit her at night that are dying?" Women muttering at the market square. But Fatima kept looking more beautiful. Her skin shone, her hips grew rounder, and her buttocks became even bigger. The men couldn't resist, and the women could only watch in anger. What nobody knew was that Fatima was an old ugly witch. Her beauty and her body were powered by the life force of men, which to her came from their sperm. Any man who sleeps with her gave her part of his life. She used it to grow younger and more beautiful. But the man would die exactly 2 days later. At night, after her victim left, she would stand before the mirror holding a small clay pot. The pot would grow faintly and she would rub the contents on her skin. Her reflection would smile back at her, young and more perfect each time. One market day, Fatima saw a young man she had never noticed before. His name was Sani. He was tall, strong, and handsome. He didn't even look at her twice. She leaned forward from her stall. "Customer, come and eat. Today's food is sweet like honey." Sani only smiled politely. "Thank you, madam. I don't eat outside often." Fatima was shocked. Every man usually stopped to at least greet her, but this one walked away without a second glance. That night, lying on her mat, Fatima thought about him. This young man who doesn't seem to notice me, who is he? I want him. If I can take his life force, I'll be more beautiful than ever, she whispered to herself. The next day, Fatima pretended to have trouble carrying a basket of food, and Sani was passing by. She let it slip from her hand, so the vegetables rolled on the ground. Sani rushed to her. "Madam, you will hurt yourself. Let me help you," he said, picking up the basket. Fatima smiled sweetly. "Thank you, my dear." "May I ask what your name is?" "My name is Sani," he replied. "You have saved me today. Please come and eat at my shop. It is free, just to show my appreciation." At first, Sani refused. "No, it is fine, I was just helping." But Fatima insisted. "You must eat. If you refuse, I will feel bad." Sani finally agreed and ate her food. While he was eating, Fatima said, "You are a good man. I want to thank you properly. Come to my house tonight for dinner." Sani was a lonely bachelor, so he felt no resistance to disagree. So he agreed, not because of her beauty but because she insisted. That night, Sani went to Fatima's house. The food was ready: spicy pepper soup, fresh fish and yam. They ate, laughed a little, and after the meal, Fatima stood up, locked the door, and slowly began removing her clothes. Sani frowned. "What are you doing?" Fatima walked up to him. "Don't pretend you don't want me. You are a strong man. Spend the night with me." At first, Sani resisted. "No, this is not why I came." But after she kept touching him and begging, he gave in. They slept together. Fatima smiled to herself as he left in the morning. "Yes, I have gotten another one." 2 days later, Fatima dressed in her best wrapper and sat in her stall, waiting to hear news of Sani's death. But nothing happened. On the third day, she began to feel strange. Her skin lost its shine. Her buttocks was deflected. It was becoming flat. Her hair started falling out. "No, this is impossible," she said to herself, running to her mirror. Her reflection shocked her. Wrinkles had appeared. Her body sagged. Her true form was revealing herself. Then she muttered to herself, "But he released inside me. How is he not dead?" She forgot that the ritual will only work if the man was potent. The truth hit her like a slap. Sani was impotent. His sperm carried no life force. She had gained nothing from him. Worse still, without the death of her victim, her powers were broken, and her real form was showing. She shouted to herself, "Sani, you have killed me." By morning, the market women saw her and gasped. Auntie Binta said, "Is this Fatima?" Aisha, the widow, "Ah, see her face, see her body." Her once perfect skin had collapsed into wrinkled folds. Her hips were gone, her buttocks looked like a dried calabash, and her voice had turned hoarse like an old woman. She tried to cover herself with a wrapper, but the women surrounded her. Another woman muttered, "Where is the beauty you used to deceive our husbands?" Another shouted, "Confess, witch." Fatima stammered, "Leave me alone. I am sick. It is just sickness." But the women were not fooled. They had been watching her for months, counting the dead men, whispering about how the men died 2 days after they saw them with Fatima. Now, seeing her transformation, they knew the truth. They dragged her by the arm to the villagers. The crowd grew, and even Sani came to see what was happening. Elder Malam Danjuma stepped forward. "Fatima, the people said you are the cause of this death. Is it true?" Fatima shook her head violently. No, I did nothing." But the women were not convinced. They went and brought charms from the shrine, circled her and began chanting. The air grew heavy. The ground seemed to tremble. Fatima started screaming, clutching her head. Stop, I will speak. Her voice was now old and cracked. She fell to her knees. "Yes, I took them. The life force of men keeps me beautiful. Their seed was my power. Without it, I am nothing." The crowd roared in anger. The women tied her hands behind her back with a thick rope. Then they dragged her through the market street, beating her with sticks and palm food. Children threw stones, men spat on her. A woman in the crowd shouted, "This is for Musa." Another woman, "This is for Baba Ibrahim." They reached the village square where dried firewood had been piled up. The elders did not stop them, for witches who killed with such cruelty deserve no mercy. Fatima's voice shook as she tried to plead. No, no, please don't do this. But before she could finish, the first torch was thrown. The flame enveloped her body, climbing the pile and swallowing her screams. The people watched until there was nothing left but ashes and bones. That night, the elders gathered the men of the village and spoke to them. Let this be a lesson. Not every beautiful woman is a human being. Some women carry death in their bodies, and they hide it behind a beautiful face and smile. Control yourself, for your seed is your life. Give it to the wrong woman, and you have given her your soul.